2. Hi, welcome to the Minnesota Pubcast. Second try on this evening live from O'Gara's. Tim Rasmussen filling in for Molly Burke. Molly is out sick tonight. Hope you're feeling better, Molly. But we're here at O'Gara's. We're watching the old Masters. We got Tiger, Chip, and I just honestly I'm going to be way distracted during the show. But we're going to start there, and so it's not as distracting because that's what I want to talk about it right now. The greatest golf tournament that there is. It's so fun to watch. Are you as big of a fan of the Masters as I am?
Absolutely. Well, I mean, I don't know about as much as you are, but
you're also a huge fan of it.
Absolutely.
Why do we love the Masters so much? I've been trying to think about that today. I'm pretty sure I got a couple of reasons, but why do you love it?
It's the first major, so you pull out of winter and you're like, all right, it looks good, it looks nice out. It's the best looking course.
It's the best looking course, and that's
Aesthetics.
Including Pebble Beach. I still just love looking at Augusta.
There's something about it, looks wise.
Well, you know what? Actually, I think about the comparison to like a Pebble Beach, which I think is probably the most stunning course. But it looks like this is a course you could go play. Like Augusta, it looks like a normal golf course, but then super beautiful. It doesn't need the scenery around it to make it what it is. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like Pebble Beach just has those crazy views that you can't get anywhere else, and then you build a golf course there. But this is just in the middle of frickin' Georgia, and it's one of the most beautiful places I've ever seen in my life. But what else do you love about it other than the timing? Is
timing,
that it?
Just the aesthetics. It looks the best. The first major. I think it feels like the most important one for the golfers. Maybe they're like, if you win a Masters, you're cooler than
I feel
if
like
you
that
win
is
the
true.
U.S. Open.
It
like,
is the biggest major to win.
Yeah.
And
I think there's importance in there.
And I think too that there's something about it always being at the same course.
Yeah,
it's you have to. It's not like the U.S. Open, for instance. If you can hit the ball far and straight and putt, if you can golf. No, but if you can do that at the U.S. Open, it's all about accuracy at the U.S. Open because they always punish you for going in the rough at the U.S. Open. It's always the craziest rough, and it's always 1 under wins the tournament. And then you got the British Open, which is its own different style. That whole, it's the play in the wind.
It's different courses, though.
And those are all different courses, but you still have that same style that you have to play them. And I think that's even true with the PGA, right? That's the last one. But the Masters is you have to learn Augusta. You've got to master Augusta. Pardon the pun. But and I think I don't know enough about Augusta, but I'm pretty sure what makes it special too is you got to be able to shape shots both ways there. And there's pro golfers that don't really do that or don't like to do that. They can't necessarily hit the fade and the draw, which, god damn, does that make me feel good sometimes, knowing that every once in a while even I can do it. So it's like that is how hard it is to be able to hit it both ways. But I think you really got to be able to do that at this course.
And you get a green jacket.
Oh, that green jacket.
And you
so
get
cool.
a brilliant blazer.
It's so cool. The green jacket is so cool. And the pomp and circumstance that surrounds the Masters actually is so cool too. And then you got a guy like Jordan Spieth damn near winning the thing or leading the thing right now. And he's, 21, 22 years old? God, it's cool. But, okay, let's turn toward local sports a little bit before we move on to other topics tonight. The Wild clinch. We've got that to look forward to. I think, let's just really quickly, that's what we expected, right? For them to finish and make the playoffs. Not necessarily a great high seed, but not necessarily a bottom seed. Barely got in there. I think they're going to be a little lower than expectations even.
Point differential between us and Blues and Chicago is like 3 games.
Right.
So it doesn't matter in hockey. You just got to get in.
But I'm just saying, when we came into this season, this is more or less where we expected them to be, right? We didn't think they were better than St. Louis or Chicago, but we thought we could play with them.
If they win the next 2, can they get 100 points?
I think so.
I mean, that would be a pretty damn good year.
Yeah, I think they should have 97.
I think they have 96,
96.
so they win tonight would be 98 and then 100.
Right? And then they would break the record for longest streak on the road as well.
If they won 2, that would be.
They would be 13 in a row on the road, which is unbelievable, and which actually does play into being a lower seed too, which actually could help us because we're playing so well on the road.
And the West is so good that if you're right there, you had a good year. I mean, obviously, they would want to be the one with the home ice all the way through, but what do you like? I don't know. With the goaltending they came in with, I didn't expect that. I knew they're going to struggle with that.
Right.
I'm like, they're going with Kemper and Backstrom right now? Are you kidding me? They spent money on Vanek, but you didn't get a goalie. I was a little worried, and they should have been because they were terrible.
Yeah.
And then they got a goal, and they were good. So
Bottom line, the Wild met expectations, and they would have to. What do you think here in the playoffs? You can't lose in the first round.
I mean,
you
you're the
lose in
lower
the second
seed.
round. That's kind of. But if you lose in the first round this year, you are considered a failure, even if it's against a good Anaheim team or if Nashville gets their shit together. Because I think we kind of have Nashville's number right now. But
I mean, let's say they lose Game 6 at home in the first round. I think it goes 2-2, 1-1-1, right?
I think so. Yep.
So let's say they lose Game 6 at home to lose the series.
Mm-hmm.
Do the fans cheer them off the ice thanks to the good
job.
year? Or, what do they do?
See, that's a totally different question because Wild fans' expectations, the people in the building, the people
That's
that
all that
buy the
matters,
season tickets,
really.
They love you made the playoffs. They'd be so happy.
Okay, so
I think
to
that
the
they
fans,
would, I think
just
they'd
making
cheer
it
'em.
even still is
God,
still
I think they'd
okay.
cheer 'em. Yeah, but I still think the fan base, the educated fan base overall in the town, even the casual hockey fans would be going, nope, that's not enough.
I don't think it would be a disappointment or a failure. It'd be a disappointment, not a failure, because that West is so good. Where you lost to Anaheim, they're the number one team in the league.
But the thing is too is we're catching Dubnyk at this time where he may never play like this again for the rest of his life. I mean, I don't think.
Don't you worry about that with the Minnesota sports team where you go, we got the guy. They give him a little extensione,
Right.
and he just terrible next year. I feel
He'll
like
be
that
hurt,
happens. Yeah,
and
he gets that hammy
Yep.
going.
Oh no, he get the groin like Backstrom,
Yep,
and he'd be
they
done
are
for the rest
done.
of his career. Yeah, but not even that necessarily. I think just Dubnyk might just come back to earth and just be a normal goalie again.
Yeah, where was he before
he was
this? What
fourth
the hell?
string last year.
Yeah.
When his team was in the playoffs, he was at home. That's how low on the totem pole he was.
But
So you can't. My point being, this is not something that you can just say, well, we've got Dubnyk next year, we'll be good. I don't think you can count on that.
You didn't trade for Waugh in
No.
'96 in the middle of the year.
No,
and
you didn't pick
we
up
got
Jonathan
him.
Quick.
We got him.
You
know what I mean?
Yeah. This is an
This
unknown
could
commodity
easily
still.
be another. We're halfway through the next season. We need another goal.
Exactly. And don't forget, Kemper played really well. Brizgalov got us into the
Brizgalov?
playoffs. Brizgalov got us into the playoffs, and he is not even on an NHL team this year. So that's where it's all about catching your goalie when they're hot, and he's hot. You take him out for the first time in 38 games or something tonight, by the way.
Oh, they're not playing?
They're not playing. They're
thank
playing
God.
Kemper, which I think
can
is smart. You got to give him a day off. But it was
What's
funny.
what the hell's Kemperman doing?
Sitting on the bench for 40
Since
plus
January.
games, something like that. Yeah, he has been.
He's got to be
not doing
rusty.
anything. That's
Wow.
but he almost needed that break. He was playing so poorly. I mean, it almost can't be bad for him.
I want to see what he does. He might get lit.
They might lose
up
6-0
tonight.
No,
Wow.
they could easily lose 6-0 tonight. Is it Nashville or is it St. Louis tonight?
Nashville and then the Blues.
It's okay. So it's Nashville first. Oh boy. I mean, I do think we're good against Nashville. I think we seem to match
not
up well
afraid of
against them.
Nashville.
I'm not afraid of them at all. But with Kemper in the net, God, I think the team's playing differently tonight too. I think that they're playing like they're on a break.
The pedal was down for 3 months.
Right. Right.
And you make it, all of a sudden you're like, we're in Nashville, you got Kemper in, let's maybe get Kemper lit up.
But don't you risk injury? Well, they're gonna. They know Kemper's getting lit up tonight. So I think that. But I wonder though if you risk injury if you let off at all tonight. If you just got to play hard. But they literally have 0 to play for. There's nothing that can change in the standings by them winning.
The only reason we don't know who they're playing is because the teams
Nashville and
can
Anaheim,
flip-flop?
I think, could flip.
Okay.
But so we don't have control over what happens to Anaheim. So even if we beat Nashville, blah blah blah. And again, and I heard Lou Nanny say this, and we were talking about on Wild Wednesday last night that you don't want to say we want that team though. Before the playoffs start, you never want to pick a team. And Nanny said you never pick your opponent because then that will fuck your own head up. Like you'll be too confident against the team if you get them, or if you don't get them, then you're screwed up because you're like, oh no, we wanted them, and it's just a mental. You just have to assume whoever we get, we can beat, and just play that way. You can't hope for an opponent, but we as fans can kind of hope for. I think we are.
I would like to see what kind of money they have going into next year. As far as what can you get another guy, or do you want to sign up your young guys? Like, what do you want to do in the off season for the Wild?
And well, that will all depend on how far they go in the playoffs. That really will, I think,
Why?
because there won't be the panic if they go
To get
the
Vanek.
third round.
Panic to get Vanek.
Panic for Vanek. I think that you can really relax if you go deep in the playoffs. If you don't, it's still panic time as far as I'm concerned, goalie-wise. You still need another center.
Well, what if you lose in the
But you do
second
have a lot
round
of
like
depth.
last year? Right?
I think that it's par for the course, and
So
everybody's
they're not
okay
gonna.
with
They're
it.
just gonna maybe.
I think they would make a couple little moves, but I
Little
think they would
moves.
try to you got to sign Stewart, who I think will stay. You do have to sign Dubnyk, but again, I don't know what that means for us.
I wonder where Koivu's.
He's got like 3 years left on his
Contract,
contract.
really? Jesus.
Something like that. But Koivu has. This is what, again, you and I think, are Koivu haters in general. But when he has a bunch of guys that are better than him around him, he's pretty good. Like, he's a good second line, third line center.
I was gonna
That's what
say,
he should be.
If he. Like, we set him up to be a number one guy.
Right, we made him the captain and
In
made
which
him
he
the
might
leader
not
of
have
the team.
ever been.
No.
And we were lacking in talent when that happened.
Right.
But if he would have started on like the Blackhawks
Or any solid team. The
or
Kings
whatever,
or something
anybody
like that,
that
yeah. Or the
could,
Rangers.
and he would have been the second or third line center right away and didn't have any pressure on him to be the captain.
Right.
Cool. Then maybe.
Well, he's awesome at shutting down players that are on the other team. He's really good at stopping the other guys. But I think that label of making him the number one guy on the team and all that, the fans and even the team maybe, you'd think they would be smarter than that, but they expected production out of him, goal scoring, points. I don't think that's what Mikko Koivu is. He'll get you some assists. He'll get a couple of goals here and there. But for the most part, he's to shut down other guys, and you need to bring in Parisis and Vaneks and Pominvilles and, even you got the kids now with Zucker and Niederreiter and all these guys they're just more talented scoring-wise. But that's cool. Like that. Now I like Koivu because he has a role now. Like that is okay for what he does is good on a good team. When he's the top guy, you're screwed. Like he can't be your best player. And that's what it was for all those years when they just wouldn't spend any money and they wouldn't go get anybody. But now you've got a bunch of talent around him, and all of a sudden, solid. And everybody that is a big Koivu guy is saying how great of a season he's had this year. And it's like, well, yeah. When you don't look at him as something that's that important, he's great, and then he can and then he's even more important than you think he might be. Because I thought this year he would just kind of fall into non-existence, and he's been solid. He's been very important, especially on face-offs, by the way. Which when you're watching a game, are you really even thinking about a face-off? Like, are you going, wow, we've lost 5 out of the last 6? Like, do you ever notice it like
zone, that? Like on the power play and like with like 20 seconds on the power, you're like,
then
let's win it. We need another shot on the power play. Or if you lose it and then they dump it down, it's power play's over. So that I do. I mean, as a hockey, I played hockey. I'm like,
right.
I do watch like little things like that. But
if they didn't keep the stat for you, I wouldn't really necessarily know if we were getting shellacked in face-offs on the center ice ones and even offside dot. Like I just wouldn't necessarily notice it. Which is another thing I miss about the press boxes when you get all those kind of stats between periods. You really can get a little more of a feel for the game than you can just see. But I think he's not a stat guy other than face-offs. But I think that is really important. I think, and people that know a lot more about hockey than me seem to really consider face-offs to be super important in any aspect of the game too. At any time, I mean, not just on the power play. And it's just because you start possession that way. I mean, it makes sense.
You watch more than I do. How is Brodin? Has he been hurt this year? What's going on with Brodin?
I think he started off shaky early in the season.
He was supposed to be he was like the number one defensive prospect in the NHL like a year and a half ago.
I think he's just been solid. I don't think. I mean, I don't think he's got a lot of points or anything this year. But again, you don't expect that from him. Suter's got like 30 assists. I mean, it's unbelievable how many.
He had a
points
lot of
he's
assists
got.
last year too. Like I think this year when they were struggling, he was not very good.
No, he had a bad first half of the season himself. And I think Brodin too. Was he one of the ones that was sick? There was a few guys that were sick. I want to think he might have been one of the guys with the mumps or something at some point.
Because I feel like, all right, so you go into next year and you go, we have Brodin, Dumba,
Scandella, Spurgeon,
Suter, and then
Leopold. If you want to keep him,
I mean that's
a solid defense,
bad.
and you still have. Who are we forgetting? There's another kid or something, isn't there? I feel like we're missing another. Oh no, you got Prosser.
Are those guys
who's
good?
Played well. Prosser's had a pretty good season. Again, people that know more about the team than I do haven't been that big of a fan of his, but I thought he's been pretty solid this season, especially on the penalty kill. But that's just, I mean, really, right now you do have almost an embarrassment of riches. I mean, it is going to be a little bit of like, what do you do with Matt Cook? He's a veteran. He has done a lot for this team actually the last couple of years, but
he's gone.
He's got to be gone. And I would rather have Stewart for sure over him.
Well,
but then you throw in, I mean, you've got like the who else just came back from the other veteran that just came back from injury, kind of like a third line guy. God, I can't think of his name right now. But like that's another guy that's going to go. So I don't know. But I don't think you have any kids coming up, though. There's nobody in the minors that I know of right now that we're like, oh, they'll just step up in any of those roles. We have all the kids up right now.
Yeah,
I mean, you got the Coyles and the Granlunds and the Niederreiters and the Howlas and the Zuckers and like all of those guys are up now. I honestly don't even know another name. Well, there was a couple guys that we brought up this year, but I can't. I mean, I don't think any of them are going to be big impact players. So it will be interesting to see what they even think they need to do. And again, I think that depends on how they do in the playoffs. That's going to be what decides what if they're in panic mode or what.
No, I mean, I would like to see them. Well, the one thing you could do right now, if you really wanted to, if you think this is your group where you're like, we are a cup team,
right? Or this is our shot, yeah.
Is you could, in theory, trade. Because like the Maple Leafs are terrible. You could go get a Kessel through trade. You know, if you think if you get another scorer, we're unbeatable. Like if that's your mindset, we're like, if we get a stud, like a 40-goal scorer, we might be unstoppable.
But if you even have a Coyle and a Howla step up next year, I mean, Howla's had a bad year.
But what if you go, let's maybe get rid of a
Howla
kind of and a couple picks or something?
I feel with Howla, there's too much upside. I'm
Coyle,
scared to get rid of him. Coyle, he's got so much potential too.
The ladies love him.
Well, the ladies love him. God damn. But Coyle can. What bothers me about Coyle is he can be physical, aggressive, and tough, but he does that about every fourth game.
Here's my theory, though, is when do you decide we only have a window, and how long are we going to wait for Howler and Coyle to be actually elite players?
I think they think they've got a 3-year window right now.
Like
you signed Coyle, you
years?
signed Granlund, you signed all those guys. Like the Howlas and the Zuckers are on their rookie contracts, I think. I mean, you've got you got Suter and Parise and all those guys locked down forever. I mean, you've got.
But let me say, like,
it's goalie that I'm most worried about.
Do you think Parise can do this for the next 4 years?
I think Parise's got yes. I think Parise and Suter have 3-4 more years of this left in them because Suter, the way he plays, he doesn't use any energy. I mean, he plays like from Lidstrom. I mean, he's effortless in everything he does, which is also partly what annoys me about him because he's not physical enough in front of the net for me. But if he was, he'd play 8 minutes less a game.
Yeah, I'm just worried that when you wait, you try to cultivate the kids, and you keep hoping and hoping and hoping. All of a sudden, you figure out 4 years later they're not that good, and then now your guys that were studs 3 years ago aren't anymore, and now you're back to square one.
If anybody regresses, I mean, if like in Niederreiter, I feel like already kind of has. I mean, he seemed like he had a good beginning of the year, and
I think Howla is expendable in my opinion.
Howla is expendable, yes, but also I don't know if you've heard this rumor, but I swear I heard somewhere that he might have had a concussion or something this year too, which has been that's one of those things that can just linger and linger and linger, and you just aren't the same. Like literally, you're not the same person, but much less physically. I don't know if that has maybe been a role in this too, because he was so good last year in the playoffs.
All they did last year was give up a prospect that I don't remember who now. This is bad radio, but for Pominville, they gave them a prospect.
Yeah,
that was one of our best ones.
Yep.
I would take that trade again. I think Pominville was our leading scorer last year. He had 30. What does he got, like 20 this year?
He's got a lot of assists this year again. He doesn't have as many goals. But, yeah, I mean, he's still solid. He's one of your top points guys.
If you can just trade a prospect Howla for a producer, I'm thinking about it.
I think you have to, especially like you said, if you think the window's closing.
Well, no, I'm just saying, like, yeah, you go get a vet. You want to win
that's got a couple
now,
years left.
Let's get a guy that's 29, that's proven himself, that's got some couple years in the tank, and to really like go, hey, we're the best team in the league.
Well, this is where we're above our pay grade because we don't know like the free agent class. I don't know who's coming out in free agency next year. Really,
Yeah.
I mean
that's
going to be another
different.
big key too.
Because I think for free agents, like you got to have tons of cap room. I don't think we do.
No,
But if you want to trade
but we could trade
pieces for,
But again,
other
if you
pieces.
trade Howla, that you're not helping your cap at all. You got to move on to another piece. But you're going to have you got Backstrom's contract come off. You know what? As much as I just praised Koivu, if somebody wants him, and we can get a goal scorer.
If the Leafs wanted Howla and Koivu for Kessel, done.
And a good backup goalie or something, like their
Or a
top prospect
or
goalie or something. I don't know.
I'm guessing
You got to get something else in that. But yeah, I don't know. How has Kessel even played this year? Has he been all right? I can't. They've been so bad.
I have a magic phone.
Those are amazing. Someday the show's gonna have a producer where we can just talk and other people will
And they'll
look
be
stuff up for
looking
us.
that up.
Fucking brilliant. And I still have not had the day where I get to tell somebody, hey, look that up, and make it really obscure and really hard to find.
And you got to remember, the leading scorer in the league this year has like 80 points.
Yeah.
So he's got 60.
All right, that's a solid year,
So he's got
especially for a bad team.
He's got 24 goals and 36 assists.
No, I'd take him. Yes, I'd take him for. Yeah, I'd give him.
And he is
I'd give him like 3 other players if they want.
28. Definitely.
He's got 3 more years minimum in him. Yeah.
Yeah, I would definitely trade for him. And I think the Leafs want to rebuild. I mean, I don't know why I picked him out. I hate going, let's get every Minnesota guy. I know that's not why I said it, but
this is not a perennial show, even though it is called the Minnesota Podcast. But
I just think perfect timing,
not-
bad squad. Maple Leafs want to rebuild. They probably want to get rid of expensive guys and get younger. Perfect timing. Give them Howla
if that's an option,
a third-round pick and a bag of pucks, and
I will say
the money. You got to take the money. That's the thing. You got to take Phil Kessel's contract.
right, which you got to figure out a way to do. But again, if you get rid of Koivu,
Backstrom, I think makes 5 or 7.
he does make a lot. He does
So
make
that-
a lot.
right there,
And
I think that's-
I think that does come off next year. God, I hope so. Otherwise, you just release him. I mean, he's useless. The fact that we're paying him what we're paying him this year to do absolutely nothing. What a great gig, by the way. 3rd string goalie. That's better than 2nd string quarterback. Nothing better. He's still getting paid. Does Speeds just make another birdie? Holy shit. This kid is awesome.
I would go best job ever for a backup was that Colts backup quarterback
During Manning?
for Manning.
Oh, my
Manning
God.
never missed a game,
And we don't know who he is.
and he was making a mill. Holding the clipboard, sending in signals.
How many times do you think he went out there on Sunday and like forgot half his pads? Like he doesn't even have like half
He's
the
like-
leg pads on or the knee.
like-
He's like, screw it.
I'm not getting in.
I'm not
if
going
I'm
in
getting
there.
in, I'm kneeling. I'm kneeling.
Yeah, it's to end the game.
I've got no.
Oh god.
So are we? Do you want to talk about this Twins squad at all?
yeah, we're going to take a quick break. We'll come back, talk a little baseball,
All right.
and then we're going to switch it up to another form of entertainment, but we'll switch it up to TV after that because there's so much out there right now, so much new coming, and we'll get to that in just a second.
Reach for this one.
Just when you thought it was safe to go back online,
Let's turn it on. That took a very PG direction.
along comes this hit show.
I'm constantly burping on stage.
Hey, you heard about Madonna, right?
Twin Cities Hit Show with Rusty, Courtney, and Chuck.
Had she fallen to the ground and her eyes rolled into the back of her head, what would you, Tim Mahoney, have done?
I'd have tried to make out with her.
Nice.
Get in line.
The Twin Cities Hit Show with Rusty, Courtney, and Chuck airs live daily, 9:30 to 10:30 on the Alive and Social Network.
Ever swallowed a bug or choke like Courtney on stage?
Yeah.
I meant to do this.
With Suhan Unfiltered, sports columnist for the Minneapolis Star-Tribune, Jim Suhan presents in-depth conversations with the best writers and sports personalities in the area. Suhan brings professional journalism flavor without the verbal censoring. Find out what unfiltered really means. Only on the Alive and Social Network. SuhanUnfiltered.com.
Tiger steps up for his 3rd shot. 150 yards. He's got a 9-iron. God damn it.
That's so nice.
I just love it. Oh,
That's so nice.
I know the timing was a little off, but anyway, we're talking sports, so I thought it was still a little bit relevant. Are you trying to wave for a beer?
Well, I can't say anything out loud, so I.
No, I mean, we order on the air all the time. Don't worry about that. Again, we're back. We're here at O'Gare's. Tim Rasmussen is here with me and for Molly. We got the Masters on one TV distracting the hell out of me. Jason Day having a hell of a back nine.
He's got 5 birdies in a row.
No, 5 after a bogey. And then we've got the what do we even call this Twins club? Jesus, just the lowly.
The drive.
Twins.
No, what do we call the push? Wait,
Run for a Hun.
Run for a Hun.
Yeah, we came up with that on our own. Nobody's ever said that here in the Twin Cities radio market. But no, seriously, Run for a Hun. I'm pumped to see them just go more innings without scoring a run. We should find out what that actual record is, what the longest streak.
To start a season?
Scoreless runs to start a season.
Well, right
scoreless
now,
innings.
boys and girls, they're at 23 innings in the start of the season without a run.
Have we been to third base yet?
I don't think we have.
Oh,
'Cause we haven't
my
today. I don't.
God. I mean, I don't know how you'd find that out in the box score because you'd have to just see a triple. Otherwise, you wouldn't really know if a guy made it there without seeing the actual, like the book. But
we don't have an extra base hit today, so I doubt we put a runner.
How many hits do we have?
2, 3. We have 3.
How many hits do we have this season? I think you can figure that out for me pretty quickly. Look at the last 2 games box scores. Seriously, do we have 10 hits this season? I don't think we do. I don't think.
Well, we had. Okay, we had. I think we've got
4.
I think we
in
had
the first
4,
game.
5, and 3.
Something like
so
that, yeah.
12.
Okay.
So right now, boys and girls, your Twins are down 7-0 in the bottom of the 5th. The Tigers are threatening once again. And I've been saying this at least for a year about the Twins, is why not just go all the way down, rock bottom. Stop paying Nolasco, Irvin Santana. Even I know, God bless him, but do we need to sign Hunter this year? Do we need to give him like $10 million?
Especially for what he
I'm
brings
not trying
to the
to
table.
save the Pohlads money,
No, I don't care about
but
that.
what I'm trying to do is just play. Meyer and May are one of them's 25 already, still in the minors. Like, let's go.
I don't think
Why are
they
you
had great
giving-
springs. I
I
think
don't
Meyer
care.
or May had great
It's
springs.
like-
But you know what? Yeah, just get them up here.
Just put
get
them
them
up.
their innings.
Like, I don't know.
I
I'm
swear,
just
though,
I'm
is
a
there any
proponent-
GM in the league more afraid of bringing guys up too soon
I don't.
than Terry Ryan?
Besides Mauer, and for some reason Hicks.
You're right. They're not afraid to bring Hicks up. That's for sure.
For some reason, Mauer and Hicks were up early as hell.
And Mauer, obviously.
Well, I'm
phenom,
not saying he was
understandable.
great.
Right. But
He
you're
was
right. Other
great.
than that, who else was great? Who?
They were a little decent. They were decent with Morneau.
Yep.
They did wait a while because we had Dougie Baseball.
Dougie Baseball.
Can I get a 3rd Street spotlight? Thank you. But they had, and they were worried about Morneau's glove, and he turned out to be like, great for
Just as good as anybody.
Yeah. So I'm just they get so worried, and then all of a sudden the guy, by the time he gets up here, these guys have had. They're 25, and they're in they're already. I want a phenom that's 20 in the league. Let's go.
What about
I'm not saying everybody's going to be Mike Trout at 20, but let's give them.
Do you want the kids to come up though and get shellacked? Is that sometimes bad for you to be on a losing team, especially if it's going to be for a couple more years, which I would expect it to be? I don't know.
I think, in my opinion, I like what the Astros did. I've talked about this before. Is they brought up all their young guys and just played them, and they were losing 100 games the last 3 years. And I like that because you're telling them you're it. I don't want anybody else playing besides you. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I would rather tell the guys, hey, listen, we're not signing Irvin Santana because we think you are better than he is. And you know what? If you don't worry about losing, I want you just to pitch. Just go out there. I want you to get Major League seasoning because you're putting Buxton in Double-A. Like, I don't know. Does that matter? Like, is he getting better down there? Are this Meyer and May
What
getting better in AAA right now?
What I don't understand is development in baseball and hockey. I don't understand why it takes so long. I don't understand how you judge talent
NFL,
at that level.
Right, you get drafted. Do they have a minor? They just go, you're playing, and they
Play
always
college.
play well.
College is your minor leagues.
Yeah, but
In basketball, same way. That's where you evaluate talent. You don't get another in between off weird place that we do with baseball and hockey. I hate it.
Would you rather just have a bigger roster and then not have them get enough seasoning and at bats when they were 19 in the minors?
No.
You know what I mean?
But
would you rather
guess
have
what I hate
right
is
now?
I just don't understand because I mean Terry Ryan will tell you that it is beneficial for a player to go through every level, go through A, Double A, Triple A. Even though Mauer didn't, Puckett didn't. We've had examples of people that came straight from Double A. But he thinks that, and I've heard the guys on Twins Tuesday on Dubé's show too talk about the pitching is different at each level. The hitting is different at each level. Some leagues are even more hitting prone or pitching prone.
Yeah.
So you learn a lot about guys through the leagues, through the minors, I guess, in weird ways. But I got to think if you can make it in the majors, you can make it in the majors. You need some seasoning to get you up there. But once you're 21, 22 years old, how do you not know if a guy's good enough? How do you not know?
I think Buxton, if he would have played last year, bring him up this year. I don't think he should have been up because he was hurt all last year. But I'm saying, you know what, Sano, just come up, play you're starting third baseman. We'll find a room for Plouffe somewhere else. But
Plouffe could play outfield right now.
Yeah,
It would help.
You don't need to sign Hunter and just put Plouffe in the right.
Yep.
And
Hunter's going to hurt you this year more than anything, isn't he?
Well,
But maybe that's
last year
okay.
he had the worst. He was the worst defensive right fielder in the league.
He can't move. He's a statue out there now.
And then Arcia's in left. He doesn't know how to play left field.
And
So
then
now
the center
and
fielder
then-
made a great play yesterday. So
Then you had
jeez.
Jordan Schaefer in center. Like
Who?
Like if
Who?
Buxton blows up the first couple months right here in Double A and stays healthy, can you just bring him up? Who cares? You're bad. We're bad. They're gonna be bad either way.
Yeah.
Just.
I
Stop.
want to hear the other side of that. I want to hear more on the what do you gain by keeping him down there, other than obviously the arbitration date. I mean,
But
I
you
get
also-
the clock part of it. but
With Hicks, they brought him up too early, and I think that might have scared him because he was so bad.
did they
Hold
bring
on.
him up too early, or is he not very good? It's snowing.
It's snowing.
I know.
I'm sorry.
I know
Excuse
it's on
me.
the way in. Actually.
I'm sorry.
Yeah,
boys.
it's snowing out there right now. April.
He was
9th.
terrible. He had a good. He shot up through the system. They brought him up, and he was terrible. And you know what? Maybe don't trade Carlos Gomez, and we don't have this fucking conversation.
Don't trade Carlos Gomez. Don't trade J.J. Hardy.
Don't-
There's so many guys you didn't need to get rid of that you did too. And,
Well,
and again, so for what? What did you get rid of him for?
Revere,
I mean, Kadire even.
Kadire, Revere, Span, Gomez.
Span.
Wow.
Yeah, you gave away 2 or 3 center fielders at one point.
3.
Because you
We
gave
had
away
3
Span, Revere,
Well, we
and
didn't
who?
sign Hunter, which was the first mistake.
Right, and then we
So
went
then
to Span, and then we got rid
within
of
the
him.
Santana trade and the Delman Young trade, we were like, we need outfielders. So that since we didn't sign Hunter, that was a part of our thinking in those trades. And so then, you know what? Actually, we got a good player in the trade called Carlos Gomez, and then we were like, he's too crazy.
He's too wild.
He doesn't
play the Twins way.
He doesn't play. He's got too much of a personality.
Oh, God.
Let's dump him for J.J. Hardy, and then you know what?
And
That's
he is
fine.
kind of a douchebag, by the way.
Hardy's an
but I still
all-star,
take him,
but
and
well, you know
Hardy
what?
is good.
We traded him for a middle reliever who is in baseball right now.
I know. How do you
So either
explain that?
keep Hardy or keep Gomez. What are you doing?
How much of that was Bill Smith?
He was
Was
gone.
that all Bill Smith?
I thought at that point.
I
No.
don't
After I thought the Hardy trade was not Bill Smith.
Okay. So it was pre or post? It was pre, right? I'm so confused
Well, they
right now
traded.
with the years
They
of Bill
traded
Smith.
Hardy's only year here was 2010. It was the first year at Target Field. So they got rid of him in either November or December of 10 or
I feel
11.
like that was Smith.
Really?
I think so. 'Cause
Well,
I was
he
still
was-
at KSTP.
and you know
that
what's
year,
funny?
or early that
Classic Twins. You're really bad at your job. We're not going to fire you. We're going to replace. We're going to put you in a different position within the. Bill Smith is still with the Twins.
I know he is.
How?
Think about that.
How is that possible?
It's easier to explain priest in the Catholic Church getting shuffled around.
Oh, my God.
I'm kidding. That's sorry. That was a really, really deep.
And they were
stretch there,
talking
but-
last night. The Twins fired Geirenheimer. They kept multiple coaches from the major league team from last year.
At least they got rid of the pitching coach.
Well, yeah, but they
got
kept
rid of the bullpen
they
coach.
kept Brunansky.
Hitting coach, right?
How's that going?
Do you think?
How's that going? How is that going?
Do you think Molitor
Can
made
hire
that
a
call?
better-
No, do you think he made that call?
Yes,
Let's just
because
keep those guys
they
on.
had-
Cool with those guys.
They had Bruno on. That's
Okay.
where I heard it.
That makes
And
sense.
they had him, and Molitor told him, "Just wait. I'm going to interview, but I want you. So just wait. And if I don't get the job, then
Okay.
obviously you're on your own." But
So
that's. I mean, still though, like, can you tell? Like, I don't even know where to begin at this point.
neither do they. How many scoreless innings now are we up
Well,
to?
that was the 6th inning. They just flew out to end the inning. So that's
24 innings,
24.
scoreless. Oh God, damn.
I'm
really
hoping
wanted
right
them
now
to-
they want I want the 3. You get swept the first 3 games without scoring a run. That's brilliant.
And then you go to
Chicago.
and then you come
Then
home for
home.
Detroit again.
No, I
And who's home?
want to say KC.
Okay.
The first.
Casey's the home stand, the first home stand, which is a team that digressed or regressed or got
They're-
worse. Or
well,
whatever
they've had
the
a
hell I'm
nice
trying to
start.
say. What is their record?
I think they're like 2-1.
Because it seems to me like their pitching got worse
Well, they
and
lost-
something else got worse.
They lost Shields,
Yes.
but I think they're going to be in the fight. They're going to fight for that wild card again. I think.
Okay.
I think they're
Detroit
hitting
the runaway team this year?
people really like
Cleveland's
this
good.
Cleveland
Yeah,
Indians
Cleveland could be
squad.
good.
That
Detroit doesn't know how
our
much pitching they
division.
got.
This is why I think we're going to be really bad. Detroit's good. Cleveland's supposed to be good.
Chicago's
The White Sox aren't bad.
Right.
KC's pretty good.
Casey went to the World Series.
Like we're not good. We're not good.
And that's what I still don't understand. I know some people are probably going out there going like, Jesus Christ, with the sports. But what did you see, not you personally, but the people that were out there going, Twins could win 82 games? Twins could even be in the hunt. Like, Twins could maybe be contenders for this division.
How?
Where did you get that if you compare them to the other teams in their division? We don't have... Well, our starting pitching got better, but still, compared to the other teams, is it better than them?
Well, our starting pitcher
bullpen
was-
sucks,
our-
except for the closer.
But if you think about it, our starting pitching had the worst ERA last year. We just added one guy.
Yeah.
And then now he's on the
And he's
80
hurt
game
again.
suspension.
Santana,
yeah.
right.
So we didn't add and we didn't get rid of 3 and add. You know what I
Correct.
mean? We
And
got rid of-
everyone thought Nolasco was a sure comeback year for sure. Like, he's gonna be so much better. When I read his stats, and where did we get him from?
He was a Dodger the year before.
Was he in the National League
He was
his whole
a
career
Marlin.
before that? Yeah.
Okay.
That is always
Always.
a one run. You always add a run
Always.
to their ERA. You have to. And I don't understand, even these baseball quote-unquote experts that don't see that. I see a guy come from the National League, especially, he's an innings eater.
If you're
in the
a-
National League. Like,
He
that's even-
still had a 4 ERA in the NL.
Right.
So if you go, well, they have a pitcher to throw to. Their ERA is going to be worse. And if he I could see if he had his first 5 years were in the AL, and then he went to the NL, and then he came back.
And they can kind of come up
But
with
he
a
was
little
always an
average in
NL
between.
guy. I guarantee right now, if he was on the Reds, his ERA would be at least a point lower.
And Santana as well. He came from Atlanta. Where was he before that?
Well, he's a Royal and an Angel, so he was
he
good
was
in the
he was in
AL.
the American League too. Okay.
He was good.
But was he always on roids? If that's the other thing with these guys, you never know now.
Well,
Is that always cheating?
So here's
or how
the-
often is he tested? I don't know.
Here's Santana's, and then we can maybe switch it to your.
Yeah, we'll
Tinder-
take another
Tinder
break,
talk.
and then we'll go Tinder talk.
But here's the
or,
thing with
something.
Santana. He went from the Angels. He had a nice career with the Angels. Not great, but nice. 1 year with the Royals, stunk. So he didn't get a contract. And you signed a 1-year deal with the Braves. Took roids probably. Had a nice year, and then signed our big
Contract year deal. Yep.
So I think.
Like a Mauer deal. Which also I think
So now if
was
he comes
tainted.
back, he might be terrible.
So you got Nolasco, who is hurt again. And again waited 2 batters before he told anybody he was hurt. Last year he waited 2 months before he told anybody he was hurt, I think. And then you've got Santana out.
That's
You've
what.
got
Okay, hey.
Pelfrey
Here's
that
my
should be in the
theory.
bullpen. He would have been good in the bullpen. Now you have him in your starting rotation. You
If-
have Malone, who is awful.
Well, here's my thing. I don't think Malone's that bad.
he throws 80 miles an hour. I just hate
Hey,
those
he's
guys.
a lefty.
Fifth starter, yeah, it's fine.
Fine. This Give Pelfrey 2 or 3 starts. He's going to get rocked. He's terrible. He's not good.
I think he's a good one-inning guy because he's got power.
Hopefully Nolasco's got a Tommy John coming.
Something.
So then bring up Meyer and May like I want them to do. And if they're bad, it's fine. It's fine. I would rather
you know
have
what you got. There's that.
I would rather have them throw innings in the major leagues than watch Nolasco complain that it's cold and he signed with Minnesota. Good thinking.
Yeah.
Great.
How much is that contract worth to you? Because you need to step it up here. And even though you don't like the cold weather, it's not our fucking problem.
Kill me. Worst team in sports.
God, we love Minnesota.
And
all right.
it's snowing.
We're done with the sports. We'll come back and talk another really positive topic when it comes to Tim and me. We'll talk internet dating.
Legendary Minneapolis-St. Paul sports radio personality Jeff Dubé's energetic sports talk jumps right into the nitty-gritty local sports details you're looking for. No one else is delivering you sports news, current events, and guests with Dubé's gusto. Join him live at any of his bar perches or live streaming Monday through Wednesday only on the Alive and Social Network. Just go to JeffDubéShow.com. Join longtime radio personality and producer Kelly Guest and friend, CEO of Fantasy Gifts, Colleen Bertino, as they talk about all things sex, men, women. Lend them your ears and learn everything you wanted to know about sex and intimacy. Only here on the Alive and Social Network.
Oh, man.
Hey, is
he at least
Jason Day, what is he ranked, do you think, worldwide?
In the world top
15?
20 for sure.
15?
Yep. He's awesome. Got a gorgeous wife as well.
Really?
Yes. I follow a golf writer, also another good-looking gal, actually, on Instagram, and you can tell she's friends with the Day family. She always takes pictures with them at all the tournaments, and yes, he did well for himself.
Jason Day is actually 5th.
See, yeah, he's very good.
Wow.
He is very, very good. Because he's always in it every week. And that's what's the same with Spieth. Spieth is in there every week.
Brilliant.
I mean,
good for him.
He's finished in the top 5 the last 3 weeks.
Jason Day's in New Zealand.
Yeah. All right, so I teased Tim earlier with this topic earlier. Yeah, teased him. He and I have had a lot of fun internet dating, whether it be Match.com, Tinder. Have you had any dates on Hinge?
No.
Hinge? I went on, my date tonight actually is the second date from Hinge. But okay, so let's just set this up. I think I've mentioned this date on the show before, but let's just get this out there. So it's been like 2 weeks now. Went on a really good first date. One of those ones where seriously, like the room cleared out and you're like the last people in there and you don't even realize it. And you
talking,
go,
yeah.
Just yap. Time flies. Great date.
Fun.
Leave, little kiss. Like, and she's like, she paid. I think I mentioned that on the show once that she paid, which was amazing. And then when we left, it was like she was like, let's do this again. Call me. Blah blah blah. Right. Made plans, and who does this? But we made plans to hang out Easter night. Now I went out the night before and partied with my buddy Jesse and got kind of hammered, and I was pretty hungover on Easter.
Did you go, oh, I can't go out?
No, but 6:30 comes around. She was going to be like, she was in Wisconsin at her parents', but she was going to come back and we were going to go out, do whatever, get a couple beers or something. And I just text her like, hey, how's it going? Or, what are you thinking about tonight? And she's like, oh, I'm, stuck at my parents, just kind of got caught up, we were just talking, blah, blah, blah. Not even leaving yet. And I'm just like, well, we can go out another night. That's totally cool. Like, I was like trying to make it on her a little, but I was like, I don't want to go out tonight. I was not feeling it. And I'm like, what are you doing tomorrow night? Because Monday night was the night we went out the last time. She's like, I'm really busy. How about maybe Friday night? So now we're Sunday to Friday, okay? So that would already be like 2 weeks for the second date in the first place.
Hold on.
Right?
So you kind of caused this.
Yes.
Initially, yeah.
Yes. I have
she
to
was
take
ready
a
to
little
go
bit of
out Sunday
responsibility.
night?
Yep. But she also had not texted me all night, and like I don't think she necessarily was all about going out on Easter night either. But I totally gave her at least the out. And then it becomes like, no, the Friday I got this other thing, can't do that. But what about next week? And I'm like, yeah, probably, but like I don't know what day. How about this day? Ooh, no. Now actually I'm going to be in Vegas. I forgot about that. I have this conference, and it'd be okay. I get I've been blown off. That's totally okay. I don't mind that. I can get another date. That's not the problem. But I don't think she is blowing me off, which is more annoying. And you've gone through this before, too, where it's, it was a really good time. I had a great time, but I'm not available for 7 months.
6 weeks.
But I really want to see you in 6 weeks. But I don't have time for 6 weeks. And it just, who's that busy? I don't understand it. How do you not have one night where you had an hour where you're just like, want to grab a beer? How does that not, and maybe they really are that busy. Are women that busy? What do they have going on that we don't?
I'm going to talk out of my butthole because I'm not a woman. But here's what I think that they do often is you would cancel on me. Let's say you and I talked Sunday on Easter and said, "Hey, dude, let's go out Friday." Sweet, let's do it. Right. A girl goes, "Hey, I'm free Friday. What are you doing?" You would fucking tell me to go fuck myself. You go, no, I mean, you know what I mean. You go, "Hey, dude, Friday I can't do it. I got a girl lined up."
Right.
But to them, they don't cancel on, or they see the friend thing as more important since she only met you once.
Right.
So you and I would totally throw you off into the front of the bus.
I would run you over to get to the date. Right.
To them, I think, well, the girlfriends are gone. Now we're gonna, you know what I mean? Like I think
I haven't seen them for
I haven't seen them in like 2 weeks. Like one was in Cabo for a week, and then like I'm going to Vegas after. So like I'm not gonna stay for like 3. So that's their thinking, and that's my opinion. That's one part.
That's a good theory.
That's one part of it.
Aspect of the part of it. Yes.
I feel like they're really loyal, which is nice.
Of course.
To their
bash
friends
that.
where they cannot just go, "Oh my God, guys, I have a date with Jason. I can't go."
Who? Who's this guy? Tinder date.
Like,
you're going on a Tinder date instead of coming out and painting at the
we're
at
gonna
the
paint
bar.
a plate.
We're gonna paint.
So that's one thing. There's something with this. How old is she? 27.
27.
Wow, I just guessed it.
Right.
There's something with
27-year-olds.
25
to 30.
Yeah, 20 to 30. That has a little bit of a scheduling, like they have to have something going all the time.
That's true.
To feel
too.
comfortable.
You're right. Any girl I know under 30 always has something going on. Always.
Vegas. Who has money to go to these? People that I know are always going on trips.
Yep. Well,
but
some of these girls are professionals that just have money and doing it too, but others are just, I don't know what they're doing. They're just going in debt and they got $10,000 credit cards.
But the thing I don't get.
I'm okay. Thank you.
Is also there's always Mondays we get girls' night Monday. Tuesday Arties I play volleyball.
Got the kickball league.
I got a kickball league.
And
then Wednesdays I do yoga. And then Thursdays, every other Thursday I get together with my dad for dinner. And then Fridays I usually try to keep open for the friends that didn't come to the Monday dinner. It's like, no, you're like, fuck, when are you ever going to, why are you dating then? Why are you dating?
Hold on, though. Let's flip this for a second, though. The second you become the boyfriend of that girl, how much fucking time are you expected to hang out with her?
Okay.
All the time, right?
Here's this.
And with the friends, too. But
here's this. You're on the kickball team. You're
the captain of the kickball team.
You're on the kickball team. You go to yoga. You are invited to the dinners.
They give you shit when you don't go.
Right?
Oh, God.
So once you get in,
oh my God. And then now you're friends with all their friends' boyfriends who are semi-douchey, but you can talk twins with them for 5 minutes. So you do, but it starts out with the traffic,
and then you get you're getting texts
first
from your buddy, like your real buddies, and you're like I'm in Hopkins at a bar, you're like, oh God, what am I doing? Why did I want a girlfriend? I'm in fucking St. Louis Park at Toby Keith's. My buddies are at fucking anywhere else that's fun. They're having the best time of their life.
Within walking distance of my house in St.
Paul. FOMO yourself. See, it's all
I don't know what we're doing.
But
what are we doing?
It's hard to get in. It's hard to get in with a girl. Dating now is if you're 21, you have all the time in the world.
True.
Nobody has money. Nobody's got a kickball league. All you're doing is going to house parties or bars, and that's all you're doing. And you can meet them there, and so you feel like you're involved. Once you turn 30 or 27 or 37, everybody's got shit going on. They got their niece. They're babysitting their nieces on Saturdays for their. You know what I mean? Their brothers.
I do, but dude, I'm relatively busy. I got time. I've got time to date when I want to. But again, I think you're right, though. I don't have the obligation. Like, I could blow you off. I could blow any guy friend that I had plans with.
A lot of guys.
Let's leave that out there for a second if you really want to.
You can blow off a lot of guys.
But I mean, I think that is it. Is we really have no problem if I have a chance to go on a hot date tonight, or I could just go drink beers at so and so neighborhood bar. I'm going.
Oh, the Twins are going to score their first run on an air, unearned.
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 So,
it just don't count.
I guess it's still a run, but god damn it!
The fucking come on, make that play, center fielder. Raji. Oh, Bauer. It looks like he just opened up a brand new Mauer hit thing for Christmas.
Hold on. We have to discuss this for a second because this is so Twins. This is so Minnesota. This is so everything. Every fucking player on the bench just high-fived Joe Mauer for scoring the first run in a 7-1 game.
In the seventh?
In the seventh inning. And, I mean, I don't think that was you know how... I'm trying to think of when the crowd cheers, but it's sarcastic.
Yeah,
I don't think that was sarcastic.
No.
I think they were like, "Finally, yeah,
but, I mean,
we got
there's a little bit of weight off your chest, monkey back, chest. So
I guess they're still kids. All right, yeah,
let's go back. Hold on,
you're right. Let's stay on topic.
Okay, it's weird that I was going to say, or also she's just really not that interested, but then why would she say that then?
And I'm telling you, like today, it was the whole Vegas thing, like, oh my God, or that day is not going to work either. But then it was like, how's your week going? Like, that was the next text, was like, but how are you doing? Like, so if you're not interested, why bother? Yeah. Why are you inquiring?
No, I know.
So I'm saying, I think, and I even kind of when this first was like, holy shit, am I ever going to see you again? I was just like, did you have fun? Like, did you have a good time that night when we hung out? She's like, yeah, I had a great time. I'm like, okay, well, so did I. So whenever the fuck you come up with some time, we'll hang out. But I also don't like being that where. I am not going to make myself extremely available. And like when she texts me next, like, oh, I'm free this day, I got to kind of be like, To
the listeners, we're not saying we need to see you 5 times a week right away.
No.
We're not saying that at all. No. So please don't think that. We're trying to say.
We're not. I don't think either one of us are needy like that.
If you had a good date on a Thursday, can we at least maybe try to schedule something maybe at least before the next Thursday?
Thank you. Yes. Within the week. And I'm saying it doesn't even have to be like a full dinner date. If we could just meet up for drinks or coffee for an hour or two just to talk and like get to know each other.
Because you want to establish a running dialogue of not just, oh, wait, did you say you had 2 brothers again? You want to get to, you don't want everything to always be a first
especially
date.
if you're doing what I'm doing where you're intermingling dates.
Yeah, and then
you really are like, wait, are you the one
your
from
dad doesn't work at
so-and-so?
3M?
Right. Or, your dad died?
Your dad's dead? Oh,
shit. I thought your dad was the guy that was the assistant coach for the Twins back in the day. You just, it's too much.
That's a problem.
It's too much. Too much pressure. Too much pressure.
So, girls, if you're listening and you're single, well, come to O'Gara's. But 2, let's maybe, you don't have to watch Gilmore Girls marathons on Thursdays with your girlfriends every week. Every week. Maybe schedule a date in. And tell your friends to go.
Oh my God, they do that.
We'll do it next week. It's fine. We'll buy the white wine next week.
Have they heard of On Demand, by the way?
You
never have to watch a show live.
I'm saying that. I just feel like they're just.
But yeah, no, I know. They have their little
on Thursdays, you watch Grey's.
Yep.
We watch Grey's on Thursdays, and it's like. Oh my God!
I'm having a slight aneurysm as we speak. Speaking of chicks,
aneurysms.
And aneurysms. But no, come down to O'Gara. Especially I'm here every Thursday. Tim will be here every once in a while. But if you make a special request, we'll get him down here.
If Molly's out, I'm kidding.
No, but if you, because I think Tim and I are both definitely down for watching some Netflix with the gal, and there is so much, and not just Netflix, but TV in general. I want to say this because we talk about TV a lot on this podcast. I think not that long ago, if you watched a lot of TV, you were kind of like a loser. You were a couch potato. Like there was something wrong with you.
Yeah.
Now, if you don't, I think you're kind of a loser. I think there's something wrong with you. Like you're missing out on really good art. I really
bizarre.
think there is amazing television out there now, and I don't even mean necessarily like it's just really cool visually and cool stories. I mean like that Louis episode. Did you watch that?
No,
we talked about it last night. So if the listeners want to know, go back and listen to last night's show. But just that a comedy on FX by Louis C.K. provided 7 minutes of the most powerful dialogue or monologue, a 7-minute monologue that it blew me away and made me look at life, humanity. It's a fucking comedy. And you've got series like Bloodline right now out there that are fantastic. You've got Game of Thrones coming back. You've got True Detective coming back. The new trailer just came out today. Looks
How did it look?
awesome.
How did Vinny Vaughn look?
He doesn't say a word. Doesn't even. He just makes facial expressions in the whole thing. Like it's just
nice.
And he pushes the guy.
I know
like,
he can be a good dramatic actor.
and he's supposed to be the bad guy.
He's
I believe,
talented.
right?
Yeah.
So that will be awesome. But I mean, what else are you watching right now? I mean, I watched House of Cards. That was a good season. What else?
Really,
is coming?
people hated that.
It was okay. Like it wasn't.
I mean,
Season 1 was good. Season 2 was great. Season 3 was I would say about House of Cards. I didn't say
right
it was bad.
right now, I'm watching a show that just actually got canceled on HBO. It's called Looking.
Okay, I never got into that
it's
one.
It's a gay drama in
Right up-
San
right up
Francisco,
your-
right on my alley. And Alley.
In San Francisco, they really
That's
went
bizarre.
out of
Yeah,
the
they really
box
went out of the
there.
box.
Got Alley.
But you know what, though?
Jesus Christ.
Honestly, very well done. Very great reviews. Just ratings weren't good enough to keep it for a third year. But I'm almost done with it. It's very good. I'm enjoying it.
I wonder if HBO suffers sometimes from having too many good shows. I mean, they have a bunch of good stuff to watch right now. I mean, Game of Thrones coming. Silicon Valley, you dug that, right?
Unreal.
Best comedy out there right
Wow.
now.
It's coming back.
And that's coming back soon. What else? I mean,
What am I
The
gonna
Leftovers, I thought was good.
Yeah, it's
When's
solid.
that's got to be coming back
This summer.
soon. Yeah.
No,
so
HBO suffers from They have all their shows available if you have the app or the Go.
Yeah.
And it's just like, where do I begin? You know what I mean?
Honestly, I don't go on there as often because it is so overwhelming.
Like,
and it's not as easy. I feel like Netflix gives me what I want easier. Like I swear, like half the time you sign into Netflix, that top show is, yep, that's the next one I want to watch. You know, like the new season of Louis came out, Bloodline was on there. What was their last series they came out with? It was like that too. But I swear, you have to dig and know what you're looking for on HBO a bit.
well, I mean, unless it's on what's going on right now. Like I just finished the girls' season, just ended. I finished that. It was great. But yeah, unless it's like, oh, it's the new Mad Men. It's not on HBO, but I'm just saying, like, you do have to, like, oh wait, that show. Oh, I totally forgot about that show. And you're scrolling through like 90 awesome shows. You're like,
and I think that's even the way they only give you they give you that featured page where you get like, here's what we think's important.
Well, that's like what's on like
the current shows
Yeah.
usually. Yep. And then, but then otherwise it's like every series alphabetically. You figure it out. Like they could have had a series that came out 5 years ago that I hadn't seen yet and probably should have. But I don't even know what it was called. I wouldn't like. They should almost make it chronological or something other than just alphabetical because they really
How about
do
by
make
Emmys?
you try. By Emmys.
by Emmys.
Ooh.
Like
Ooh, I like that.
Sopranos won 62
Yeah,
Emmys,
Sopranos
so
would be
that's the
obviously
top
right away at the
part,
top,
and then
yeah.
you go all the way down. But no, like you could right now on you could watch 6 Feet Under. Like
Which I still
tomorrow.
haven't. Yeah, Oz. I haven't watched Oz. It's like
Have you seen The Sopranos?
I've seen every episode of The Sopranos.
Wire?
I've seen every episode of The Wire.
I mean, there's so many good shows. How about
There's at least another. Good, I mean, dude, what was the Carnival? Had 2 seasons.
is
and it was
Deadwood on there?
Great. Yeah, Deadwood's on there.
Deadwood was supposed to be phenomenal. That's another good show. That's another really good show from HBO that got canceled because they didn't have viewers. Are we done?
We're running out of time. Yeah. Sorry.
We
But
didn't
go ahead.
get
Finish your point.
that people forget about, and if you have HBO, you might even skip through it because you don't even. There's so much going on, and you're like, it's one of the best shows ever.
It's tough. It's tough to keep up, and that's just such a great problem to have. My God, I love how much good stuff there is to watch right now. All right, that's it. We'll see you next week. Molly will be back, I'm sure. I hope she's still not sick a week from today. Thanks for listening, and stop by O'Gara's. Tell them we sent you. See ya.